Have you noticed your favorite stores disappearing in the US? It's happening everywhere. Today, we're exposing the collapse of 5 major American retail giants, brands we all grew up with, now shutting down hundreds of locations. But here's the twist. While they're dying at home, they're making bold moves in Canada. These companies are closing stores in the US, but opening and renovating them north of the border, investing millions. Why would a failing company bet its future on Canada? What's so different up there? In this video, we'll break down the secret strategies, market differences, and the huge risks these companies are taking. Let's uncover why these brands are thriving in Canada while collapsing in the US and what it means for the future of retail. First up, let's talk about Bed Bath & Beyond, the once mighty home goods giant that, for decades, was a staple in American shopping centers. In 2023, the company shocked the retail world by filing for bankruptcy, marking the end of an era for millions of loyal US shoppers who had come to rely on its endless aisles of towels, kitchen gadgets, and home decor. The bankruptcy sent ripples through the industry, with headlines everywhere announcing the closure of a beloved brand. All 360 US stores were shuttered, leaving behind empty storefronts and disappointed customers. For many, it seemed like the final chapter for Bed Bath & Beyond. But north of the border, a very different story was unfolding. In Canada, the company's division was untouched by the US bankruptcy proceedings. Instead of closing up shop, the Canadian arm was quickly snapped up by a local investment firm. They saw not a sinking ship, but a golden opportunity to revive and reinvent the brand for Canadian shoppers. All 54 Canadian stores remained open, and the new owners wasted no time in launching a bold comeback strategy. They rolled out fresh loyalty programs to reward returning customers, revamped the online shopping experience to make it more user-friendly, and tailored their product selection to better reflect Canadian tastes and preferences. The focus was clear: make Bed Bath & Beyond a uniquely Canadian success story. In the US, Bed Bath & Beyond had been squeezed out by fierce competition from retail giants like Amazon, Walmart, and Target. These companies offered lower prices, faster shipping, and a wider selection, making it nearly impossible for Bed Bath & Beyond to keep up. But in Canada, the retail landscape is different. There's less direct competition from those same big box titans, giving Bed Bath & Beyond more breathing room to innovate and capture market share. The brand suddenly found itself in a position to dominate the home goods sector. The Canadian team doubled down on this advantage. They introduced exclusive brands that can't be found anywhere else, invested in staff training to improve customer service, and poured resources into marketing campaigns that highlighted the brand's renewed commitment to quality and value. What's remarkable is that they're leveraging the legacy and recognition built in the US, the familiar blue and white branding, the iconic coupons, the sense of trust, while leaving behind the debt and baggage that dragged the American business down. Canadian shoppers still trust the Bed Bath & Beyond name. Many have fond memories of shopping there, and now, with a renewed focus on local needs, the company is aiming to become the #1 home goods retailer in the country. The stores are bustling again, with families browsing for everything from bedding to kitchenware. While Americans are left with memories and empty storefronts, Canadians are witnessing a brand reborn, one that's thriving, not just surviving. It's a masterclass in seizing opportunity where others saw only failure. The new owners recognized the unique dynamics of the Canadian market and moved quickly to fill the void left by the US collapse. The loyalty of Canadian shoppers, combined with a less crowded retail landscape, is fueling this remarkable rebirth. The company is building a community of repeat customers who feel valued and appreciated. Bed Bath & Beyond's split fate at the border is a dramatic example of how strategy, timing, and understanding your market can change everything. The same brand, facing the same challenges, found failure in one country and a fresh start in another. In Canada, the Bed Bath & Beyond story is just beginning. With new leadership, a loyal customer base, and a clear vision for the future, the brand is poised to become a Canadian retail success story for years to come. Now let's flip the script and talk about Nordstrom, the iconic luxury department store that, despite its massive success in the US, faced a dramatic downfall in Canada. This is a story of ambition, missteps, and a costly lesson in international retail. Nordstrom made its grand entrance into Canada in 2014, opening multiple stores in major cities and promising a new era of luxury shopping. But less than a decade later, by 2023, every single Nordstrom location in Canada had shuttered its doors. The closures left thousands of employees out of work and sent shockwaves through the Canadian retail landscape. So what went wrong? Nordstrom approached Canada as if it were just another US state, offering the same products, but at noticeably higher prices, and with little effort to understand or adapt to Canadian tastes and shopping habits. They underestimated the importance of localizing their offerings and pricing strategies. Canadian shoppers quickly caught on to the inflated markups and felt they were being taken advantage of. Many felt alienated by the lack of unique Canadian products or experiences, and as a result, they simply stopped shopping at Nordstrom. Nordstrom's miscalculation cost them hundreds of millions of dollars. Their exit left behind empty retail spaces and a cautionary tale for any US retailer eyeing expansion north of the border. The key takeaway? You can't just copy-paste your US business model into Canada and expect it to work. Success requires a tailored strategy that respects the unique needs and preferences of Canadian consumers. Nordstrom's collapse is proof that even the most recognizable brands can fail spectacularly if they ignore local realities and customer expectations. Their retreat from Canada stands as a stark warning. Thriving in the Canadian market demands more than just a familiar name. It requires genuine respect for the market, competitive pricing, and a commitment to delivering real value to consumers. Today, the ghost of Nordstrom lingers in Canadian malls, a haunting reminder of what happens when a company overlooks the importance of adaptation. Their story is now a blueprint for what not to do when expanding internationally. The companies that are thriving in Canada are the ones that have learned from Nordstrom's mistakes. They listen to local consumers, adjust their product lines, and offer fair pricing that reflects the realities of the Canadian market. Expanding north of the border isn't a guaranteed path to success. It's a high-stakes gamble that demands research, flexibility, and a willingness to adapt at every turn. So, let's turn our attention to the brands that are getting it right. Those who have cracked the code and are building lasting success in Canada by truly understanding and serving their customers. Sears, once an American retail titan, collapsed in the US, leaving behind empty malls and nostalgia. But in Canada, the story took a twist. Sears Canada, a separate entity, also struggled and filed for creditor protection, but the brand name was too valuable to abandon. An investment firm bought the name and launched a new online-focused Sears Canada. Instead of giant department stores, the new Sears is an e-commerce brand targeting appliances, furniture, and home goods, where the name still carries weight. They're betting on nostalgia and brand recognition to compete with Amazon and local retailers. The challenge: convince Canadians this is a new Sears, not the failed old one. The Canadian market's smaller size and less fierce online competition gives Sears a fighting chance. It's a bold experiment. Can a legacy brand succeed online after failing in stores? In the US, Sears is a memory. In Canada, it's a digital comeback story in progress. Sometimes a good name is worth a second chance. The death of Toys R Us in the US was heartbreaking, an end to childhood magic. For decades, Toys R Us was more than just a store. It was a wonderland where kids' dreams came alive and families made memories together. When the lights went out in American stores, it felt like the end of an era, leaving a void in the hearts of millions who grew up as Toys R Us kids. But in Canada, the story took a very different turn. Here, Toys R Us never left. While American stores shuttered, Canadian locations remained open, their aisles still echoing with laughter and excitement. All 80-plus stores across the country stayed open, thanks to a timely rescue by a Canadian investment firm. This bold move not only saved jobs, but also preserved a beloved brand for Canadian families. Not only did Toys R Us Canada survive, it actually thrived. The company expanded, launched innovative new store formats, and invested in renovations to create even more engaging spaces for kids and parents. They didn't just hold on, they grew stronger, becoming the undisputed leader in the Canadian toy market. Why was Canada different? The competition here is less fierce. Unlike the US, where big box retailers and online giants dominate, Canada's retail landscape gave Toys R Us room to breathe and grow. There's no Target in Canada, and while Walmart and Amazon are present, they aren't as dominant in the toy space. Their toy selections are smaller, and they lack the immersive experience that Toys R Us offers. Toys R Us Canada doubled down on what made it special, hosting in-store events, interactive product demonstrations, and exclusive launches that turned shopping into an adventure for kids of all ages. The stores became more than just places to buy toys. They became destinations where children could play, explore, and experience the magic of toys firsthand. Canadian families remain fiercely loyal, supporting the brand with their wallets and their hearts. For many, a trip to Toys R Us is a cherished family tradition, passed down from one generation to the next. The company also invested heavily in e-commerce and click-and-collect services, blending the convenience of online shopping with the excitement of in-store pickup. This seamless integration helped them stay relevant in a changing retail world. While US kids can only hear stories about the magic of Toys R Us, Canadian kids still get to live it, running down colorful aisles, discovering new toys, and making memories that last a lifetime. The brand's survival in Canada proves that with the right strategy, a deep understanding of your market, and a commitment to customer experience, dedicated toy stores can still win, even in the age of online shopping. Toys R Us Canada is a true retail comeback story, a testament to resilience, smart business decisions, and the enduring power of nostalgia. It shows that the right market can make all the difference. Today, Toys R Us Canada isn't just surviving, it's thriving. Stores are busy, shelves are full, and the brand is stronger than ever. Sometimes the magic doesn't disappear, it just moves north, finding new life and new fans in a different country. That's the power of understanding your market, adapting to local needs, and never underestimating the value of a little childhood wonder. Target's Canadian expansion is legendary, for all the wrong reasons. In 2013, they opened 133 stores at once. Within 2 years, every store was gone, and billions were lost. The problem? Empty shelves, high prices, and a total misunderstanding of Canadian shoppers. Target assumed they could win by sheer size, but arrogance led to disaster. For years, the brand was toxic in Canada. But now, Target is quietly testing a comeback, making its website fully shoppable for Canadians with local pricing and shipping. This cautious, data-driven approach lets them learn what Canadians want before risking another big launch. Analysts think this could lead to a smarter, smaller physical return, starting with a few stores in major cities. Target's first attempt was a blitz that failed. Now it's a careful infiltration. They're turning their biggest failure into a valuable lesson. Canada isn't just another US state. If they get it right, it could be one of retail's greatest comebacks. Sometimes humility is the best strategy. 5 US retail giants, 5 stories of collapse, survival, and reinvention. The US-Canada border isn't just a line, it's a divide between two retail worlds. In Canada, these brands find new life, thanks to a less crowded market and loyal consumers. Success comes to those who adapt, not those who assume. The future of retail belongs to companies that respect the differences and play the long game. What do you think of this cross-border shift? Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more business stories. Thanks for watching.